Hey guys, YouTube here, and today we're going to be looking at episodes 422 and 423 of Naruto Shippuden. It was a two-parter this week, and I gotta say, I really liked it. It covered the first part of Shippuden, which I actually haven't seen in quite a while. It went from pretty much where Gaara got kidnapped up until the pain fight, which it was nice looking back at those events. And it was actually nice seeing those events from a different perspective, because this episode was basically about Konohamaru learning Rasengan. And it was pretty cool, I gotta say, the fan service was just out of the park in this episode. Good grief, was it crazy. Like, they did that for no apparent reason, which, whatever. Fan service is fan service. I don't hate it. I mean, you know, it has its appeal, I guess. But yeah, it's interesting that Konohamaru had to use the sexy jutsu, and was learning with that for the first two steps of the Rasengan, and I find it cool that he learned that, you have to use your own body, to actually perform the Rasengan, so it was interesting. And the same fact that I find it kind of ironic, because Naruto has to use shadow clones, and that's pretty much the that's pretty much. I mean, it's kind of using your body, but not really. You're getting some extra help, and it's funny that Konohamaru kind of stuck with that too, because Naruto taught him using shadow clones, and he actually taught him the shadow clone jutsu as well, which is pretty cool. I love it how Naruto had these different, like, sayings, kind of like hints, hint words, I suppose, to help Konohamaru. But I mean, it worked. It was a good episode. It was basically focused on Konohamaru and his efforts. I mean, like, both of the episodes kind of transitioned well, and you saw the show from a different perspective, a side character's perspective. And it focused on their rivalry, their sibling rivalry, almost. But yeah, like, they intertwined everything very well, because it's like, when Naruto went off on a mission, Konohamaru was training, and such, and and so on forth. And I also love it how they brought back characters like Haruka and Ebisu. I haven't seen those characters in forever, and Yamato. So that was pretty cool. I mean, like, overall, it was actually not bad, for filler. Like, sometimes Naruto filler episodes are just ugh. Especially like at the end of the first series, where, like, I think like 60 or 70 episodes were comprised of filler. I mean, some of the filler arcs were good, but others were just, oh gosh, way too long, pointless, yada yada yada. But yeah, I don't know. They worked, and I loved how they had those, how they tied it in with the new Boruto movie, because from what I understand, the toy box, or the box, the Sarutobi box that was at the end of episode 423, that's actually in Boruto the movie. And I loved how they connected this to that. Like, that was cool. It was cool finding out how it actually got there and whatnot. How Naruto's old suit. And yeah, just because of that, I feel like these filler episodes, were a lot better than most. I was thoroughly entertained throughout the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the breakdown and what I think. The animation was fair, nothing spectacular, but whatever. And of course, I don't know. The Japanese Japanese dub of Naruto has grown on me over the years. Like, I started watching it dubbed, especially the first series. I primarily watched that dubbed, and then when Shippuuden came out, I started watching it subbed because I wanted to stick with it, And plus, Disney XD was running the dub of Shippuden, and I didn't really care for that much. So, it was what it was. So I really should go back and watch the dubbed episode eventually, because that's what I grew up, watching, because I've been watching this series since I was like 12. But I mean, the sub has really drawn, and like, it's really influenced my taste, and I like it a lot more now. I've just grown used to it. So yeah, the voice acting is always good. I don't know. The story was it was what it was. It was entertaining. It was filler. Some people hate filler episodes just because it's filler. I hate how they're doing this. Like, literally, like, 2 or 3 weeks after doing filler again. And in my opinion, I don't think they should do filler anymore, because the freaking manga is already ended. Like, there's really no point. Before, I could understand, because, the anime had to be a certain length behind the manga. But now it's just like they're doing it just because they're doing it. I don't know. Maybe they need more time to, produce the episodes. Who knows? But yeah, basically, I liked how they tied it all in with the new movie that was coming out. Nice promotional material. And you'll only understand this probably if you watch these episodes. So I mean, that's the good part about watching, all of Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. You catch on to some things like that. Find out more details than most people would probably know. Anyways, that's it for this. I will talk to you guys next time. You two out.